meeting. Yeah. So let us try to understand the relationship management, how it is mapped by using Hibernate. Let us consider two tables meant for parent-child relationship called writer table and story table. So one writer is going to write multiple stories, right? And all the writer's data will be trying to store in writer table, and all the stories written by these writers will be stored in the story table. So one writer, multiple stories, it is nothing but the one-to-many relationship. So first of all, let us create these two tables in our database. So please share your screen. Shikanya, I think you are sharing, right? So I am making you the presenter. Please share your screen. We create these two tables in our PostGRE SQL Server first. Shikanya, I made you the presenter. Please share your screen. Josna, will you be able to share the screen? I think Shikanya, whether she's online or not sure. Yeah, she went offline. Seems she's facing some internet issues. Hello, Josna, are you able to hear? Shikanya, I made you the presenter. Right. Please open that pgadmin3 also. You connect to the database. Okay. Launch that SQL editor. And copy this create table statement. Copy the create table statement that I pasted to create a new table called writer. Hello? Oops, she went offline. Ahmed, shall I make you the presenter? I think your internet connectivity will be little stable than these guys. Okay, fine. So once you are ready, please do let me know so that I'll make you the presenter. You can start sharing your screen. Hmm. वो my multiplication है ना. Yeah, I made you the presenter, Pasha. So you are sharing your screen. Yes, we can see your screen. Okay. And have you extracted that Hibernate folder? Hopefully, yes. Yeah, lib folder is there, right? Right. So have you created the very first program also? Even if it is not done, not a problem. So we'll do it now. So go to Eclipse first. Close all these open files. Yeah, we'll create a new Hibernate project to practice. You can switch your workspace to the Java perspective. Right? You can create a new Java project. Oh no, not this one. New Java project. Name it as Hibernate practice. Click the finish button. Right click on this project. Go to build path. Configure build path. Click the libraries tab. Third tab, libraries. Source projects libraries are there, right? Yes. click that add external jars button. The very first thing is you need to add your PostGRE admin, PostGRE JDBC jar file. So wherever it is, so bring it. Hibernate thinks okay, first add that PostGRE PG jar file, something was there, right? This PostGRE setup is there on this box? Hopefully yes. Okay, you want to download it? Yeah, you can. First of all, open that PG admin. Please launch PG admin. Then we'll come back to the Hibernate practice project. Right. If PG admin is there, then I think it will be there. If not, okay, we'll download it. It is a small file. It will just quickly download it. Connect to that server, connect to your MyDB database. Databases. I mean, your database is not yet there. I think it is a new system, right? Okay, create a new database. Right click on databases. Okay, it was another box. Okay, no problem. Name it as MyDB. Okay. And owner you need to select. Yeah, click OK. Yeah. Go inside that MyDB. Then click that SQL editor. The top SQL icon you can click. From the toolbar you can click the SQL icon. SQL. Next one after the recycle bin. Okay. So copy my create table statement there to create a new table called writer. Yeah. Inside the SQL editor. Paste it. Control A. Run. Right. Query has got returned successfully. Now let's create a new table. So writer table is defined with writer ID column and writer name, 2 columns. Fine. Then let's create one more table. Name it as story table. Copy this. So the story table is defined with a foreign key which is referencing into the writer table. So this will be acting as the child table and writer becomes the parent table. Right? Save this. Control A, run. So this will be creating another table, story. Yeah, after running this one, you can close this. Did you run that? Right, it is already existing. Okay, close this SQL editor. No need to save anything. Yeah, go inside the pgadmin, expand MyDB, click that plus symbol, go to public schema, schemas, public tables. You got 2 tables there. One is writer, the other one is story. Right? So both the tables are ready now. Now we need to create the Pojo classes to map to the above 2 tables. So let's go back to Eclipse. Yeah, we were thinking of downloading that pgadmin jar file. Yeah, go there, go to Google and download that jar file first. Yeah, you can say PostGRE SQL JDBC driver. PostGRE SQL JDBC driver. Download. Yeah, first one. Yeah, you can, current version is there, JDBC4 PostGRE driver. JDBC4 1, 4 2. You can take JDBC4, the first one, which will be latest. Just say keep. So keep that jar file in an appropriate folder. Click the add external jars and add that jar file. Then add external jars. We need to bring Hibernate release 5.0 lib. Go inside the lib folder and you can see required folder, the last one. Means all the mandatory jar files will be there inside that required folder. Open that. Control A. So select all these jar files. Control A. Right. Click the open button. So this is your Hibernate practice project with this, with all these libraries set up in the build path of your project. Click OK. Now create a new package there in your SRC folder of the Hibernate practice project. Hibernate practice project, not Java. No, no. You are creating it wrong place. You are creating in another package, another project. You created Hibernate practice, a new project, right? So in that new package, name it as calm.training. Okay. Then in this package, let us create a new class. Finish. Finish this package. New class in this package. Name it as writer Pojo. Writer Pojo. Pojo. Not Pogo. Pojo. Plain old Java object. Pojo. J for Java. Not Tojo. Pojo. Plain old Java object. Yeah, Pojo, you can keep all those four letters as capital, or you can keep P as capital and J as small, like that. That is also fine. Right. Fine. Finish. And this writer Pojo class need to be marked as an entity by using @entity annotation at line 2 and also @table annotation to map to the table. So copy these two lines at line 2. Copy these two annotation lines at line 2. Press Ctrl Shift O. It will be importing those packages from javax.persistence package. javax.persistence.entity, then javax.persistence.table. Right, so this class is mapped to the table called writer table. Then this writer table is defined with two columns, writer ID and writer name. So those two columns need to be declared as the private properties of this class. So copy these two private properties. And the first one is a primary key column, hence ID, generated value, annotations are required. They need to be there inside the class. At line 9 you can paste it. Right. Press Ctrl Shift F, Ctrl Shift O. Right. Press enter after line 16. That is one private property mapped to the column called writer_ID. Then the second one is writer name declared on line 19 mapped to writer_name. Press enter after line 19 and generate the getters and setters for these two private properties. Keep the cursor at line 20. Generate getters and setters. Source, select all, OK. Right. Now copy these two constructors also. Copy these two constructors at line 20. Like one empty constructor and the other constructor is a constructor with a named parameter. Copy the above two lines also. Right. Bring them and paste them at line 20 and press Ctrl Shift F. Right. So this is your writer Pojo entity. Save this. Then create a new class named as Story Pojo. Story Pojo. Pojo, not Pogo. Right, finish. You can copy the entity and the table annotations from your writer Pojo. No, not that one. Scroll up. Line 10, 11 you can copy. And paste it at line 2. Right. Table name should be a different one. Story table. So you can modify that. Writer, you can remove it. And you can put it as story. Okay. Then copy all these things inside the class. Like story ID, story name, and also the constructors. Copy that, paste it inside the class. Control Shift O, Control Shift F. Right. Press enter after line 16. Right. And then bring the another constructor at line 23. Yes. Control Shift F. Press enter. And then generate getters and setters for those two columns. I mean those two private properties. Story ID, story name. Alright. Save this. Now we need to have the XML file, Hibernate configuration file. Right click on your SRC, new XML file, other, XML, scroll down, XML file. Name it as hibernate.cfg.xml, all in lowercase. .cfg.xml. Finish. Okay. Click the source tab. Source tab at the bottom. And copy the lines of code that I pasted here. Yeah, you can delete that one line of code existing in that. Control A, delete and paste. Select that ampersand LT semicolon. On line number 14 you can select it. Ampersand LT semicolon. Not the whole thing, only that one. Yes. Control F. Replace with. No. Replace with, there is a text box. So enter something there. Less than symbol. Less than symbol. Less than. Now click the button replace all. And then close. Then press Ctrl Shift F. You missed one more line, I believe. Hibernate configuration closing line is missing. So press enter after line 17. Less than. Start typing less than slash. Right, that's all. Control Shift F. Save. And here you can comment one line. Line number 14 is not required because you don't have that contact Pojo with you right now. No, that is not the comment in XML. It should begin with less than, exclamatory, exclamatory symbol, shift 1, hyphen, 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 2 hyphens, hyphen symbol, dash, dash. Right. So cut that end portion or cut that mapping element and paste it in between that. Cut, Ctrl X and paste it in between that. Yes. That is your commented line. Save that. Just check all those properties. So line number 7 is correct. Line number 8, I think my DB. Your B is small case, I believe. And also the username, password, correct them. Then dialect is fine, show SQL is fine, update is fine, so all are fine. Both the pojos are fine. Save this. Okay. Then have this class, Hibernate util. Copy this whole lines of code, right click on your SRC and paste it. Right. Right click on SRC and paste it. Control Shift F. Control Shift O. Right. Save this. Alright, so this is your Hibernate util class that is coming from com.training.util package. Then we need to establish the relationship between these two entities. I mean writer Pojo and story Pojo entity. Right? So to bring that entity relationship between these two entities, take these lines and declare one new property there. Copy these lines of code and paste it inside the writer Pojo. Go to writerpojo.java and paste it at line number 20. Press enter and paste it. Yeah. Control Shift O. Java.util.set correct. javax.correct. Right. Press enter after line 24. So here if you observe, it is a private property declared a set object set story Pojo. Means one writer is going to write multiple stories. So all those multiple stories we are trying to define there as a set object. Right. So one writer to many story Pojos. So that's why press enter after line 24. That's why this one to many is targeting onto the story Pojo class, and it is using the join column called story underscore writer. So in our story table, we kept a third column called story underscore writer, which will be utilizing this writer ID column as the reference column. Right? So this is how we will be creating one set object there. Keep the cursor at the bottom and generate the getters and setters for the stories property also. It will be generating get stories and set stories. Keep the cursor at the bottom of the class. If you keep there, that will get generated there itself. So get the cursor at line 52 and source generate getters and setters. Select, click OK. You can see get stories, set stories. Control Shift F, Control S to save. Right. So that's how the code is saved. So your writer Pojo is ready with that one-to-many establishment. So now we need to test this. We need to demonstrate the purpose and the execution of this one-to-many association, which is established between these two entities, writer Pojo entity to story Pojo entity. Right? So create a new class with main method. Right click on your com.training package, not util package. New class, name it as one-to-many demo. One-to-many demo. Take that main method also. Have this session variable before the main method. Copy this one line of code at line 4. So it is going to create a session variable there. org.hibernate.session. Import them. Control Shift O. Alright. Then copy all these lines of code inside the main method. So we are preparing the data there. We are trying to instantiate a writer Pojo with some writer name. Right. So import them. Import java.util.set, java.util.hasset, right. So a set object is created, a writer object is created, and inside that set object we are trying to add the new stories. Means we are instantiating story pojo objects, and all those 3 story pojos are added to your stories set. And that set we are setting it to the writer object by invoking writer dot set stories method, which takes that set object and all those stories will be set there. So one writer is trying to write these 3 stories, right? So let us submit this data into the database. So what do we need to do? How can we insert all this data? We know that session.save method is there, which will be creating rows into our table. So that's what we demonstrated as part of CRUD operations yesterday. And then once we do save the data, then we need to commit the transaction also. So copy all these lines of code after line 20. Press enter, enter, and then paste these lines of code there. Right. Control Shift F. Import that org.hibernate.transaction. Only annotations are from JavaX package, and rest all are from org.hibernate package. Right? Press enter after line 22. So you are initializing your transaction variable with null. Then inside the try block you set begin transaction, and you are trying to save that writer object. So writer object is ready with all this data of story set and all. So let's see what it is going to do. Then you are saying commit the transaction. Right? So inside the finally block you are closing your session and you are exiting from the program. Save this. Run this. What is VC? Delete that VC. Control Z. Save. Control S. Yep. Now run the program. Right. It is doing all the job. And on your console you can see that Hibernate operations, how it is all doing, what it is all doing. So you can observe the insert statements basically. It is inserting one record into the writer table, insert into writer. After that it tried to insert 3 records into your story table. Right? Go back to your PG admin. Let's verify whether the data is really inserted or not. Right click on your writer table. Say view data, view all rows. Right? So writer ID 1 is created with the writer name, whatever the name you mentioned there. Right? Close this. So this writer ID is utilized as the referenced column into your story table. Now right click on your story table. View data, view all rows. There you go. Story ID 2, 3, 4, all those things are showing you the data of stories. You clicked somewhere else. There is another window opened with respect to your with respect to your PG admin. Yeah, edit data grid. There you can see story ID 2, 3, 4 are generated, and all those 3 stories 2, 3, 4 are written by the story writer 1. Means one writer wrote all these 3 stories. Clear? So this is how one-to-many relationship will be able to establish by using that one-to-many association, one-to-many annotation. and also the join column annotation to do this relationship management between these two tables. Does it make sense? So you got the output and you verified against your database tables also, and it is confirmed that yes, the data got inserted there. Right? So what is that you observed? So you observed a lot of advantages of Hibernate over your JDBC things. Basically your Hibernate is pretty database independent. So whatever the lines of code that you wrote just now, they are all nowhere it is using any select statements, any insert statements specific to any database. So whatever the properties you are configuring in your hibernate.cfg.xml, it will connect to that database. Right? Suppose if you would have configured it, all those properties to connect to Oracle database, it would have connected to Oracle database and then performing this. Right? So that way the lines of code that whatever we are trying to write, they are all pretty much independent of your database servers. You just need to tweak your hibernate.cfg.xml file to connect to, if in case if you are switching from one database to the other database. And moreover, your Hibernate is dealing everything in terms of objects. So very less to learn about the SQL programming. So no need of learning structured query language. Right? Whereas in JDBC, you need to have the minimal understanding of SQL. Otherwise you can't. And moreover, here you are not integrating, you are not embedding any lines of SQL in your Hibernate. So you doesn't require any sort of query to be tuned. Right? So Hibernate is itself able to do all that job with the help of its criteria queries going forward and also its HQL mechanism, all that. Whereas if it is JDBC things, you need to tune the queries. Right? And moreover, your Hibernate is supporting the cache mechanism like first level cache, like the data will be stored in a cache for better performance. Whereas in JDBC programming, all those cache mechanisms will not be available by default. We need to write some lines of code for that purpose. And your Hibernate is supporting the query cache so that it is supporting the statistics about that query, database status, all that. Whereas statistics kind of operations will not be able to avail it with the help of JDBCs. And moreover, development is pretty faster in case of Hibernate because you doesn't require to write any SQL queries, all that. Right? So you'll be able to use either XML file or annotation so that you'll be able to establish the relationships between tables pretty easily readable, pretty easily manageable, all that. Whereas JDBC does not have all such things. Right? So this is how we will be able to connect to these two tables and then performing these things. Right? So I'm uploading this one. And I want you, based on your previous knowledge, I want you to write a program on your own, an exercise I am trying to provide here. So I want you to write one separate program to retrieve the data of this writer. Like yesterday we have seen session dot create query from contact pojo dot list. So that was returning you the complete data of your contacts, right? So similarly I want you to retrieve the data of writer, and also that data, I mean that particular writer is whatever the stories he wrote, so all those stories I want you to read. Right? So this program one to many demo is just to demonstrate the data insertion. So I want you to write a program of your own to do the data retrieval. Like the way you read the data by using your get all contacts or get contact based on the given ID of the contact. Right? So similar to that, I want you to do that. And also, if you are much creative than me, so try to create two other tables, like the way I took story and this one. You can take a course and students. So under Java course there will be many students. Under .NET course there will be many students, right? So that way you can also do the things, right? So try to do all such kind of activities and then you'll be able to grab much more knowledge. So I'm uploading this PDF for you, so please go through that, right? And also in case if you are interested in doing some other examples by referring the web, so please go through them. So these are the links, like especially the Viral Patel blog, very good blog it is. It talks pretty good things about Java related technologies, so you can go through that. And then yeah, I pasted those links. MK Yong is another guy who also writes very nice blogs, so you can refer that one, right? So refer these things and we'll continue and discussing the other relationships like many to one, many to many, those things in our tomorrow's class. Any questions here? Any questions, any doubts, any concerns? Please get connected on time to the class as soon as I send you the message, right? So that's all for now. If you have any questions, we'll discuss on that. If we don't have, see you tomorrow. Alright? So I'm uploading this PDF. After some time I'll be uploading the MP4 also because it need to get converted. So it may take some time to get conversion complete. Right, so I uploaded the PDF. Please go through that. Thank you guys. So if you don't have any questions, we'll stop here. Right? Thank you. See you tomorrow.